was having a conversation with a friend of mine, Calico Basin, we'll call him, and we were jokingly talking about a bet or something about how long I was going to keep a watch, and then he brought up a good point. He said, "Name all the watches that you've owned for 2 years or more," and it's not very many watches. So this is a state of the collection video of watches that I've owned for 2 years or more. Once I cross over that 2-year, 24-month threshold, it really reduces the amount of watches, okay? And I'm going to give them to you in order. So first one, or the oldest one, would be my Seiko SRP 309, the Orange Monster. This watch was a gift from my wife for Christmas, 2014, I believe. Pretty sure that's when it was. So that would make this watch, it'd be like 9 years coming up this, or 8 or 9 years or whatever coming up, this Christmas coming up. Something like that, whatever. It's getting pretty old. I need to wear it more. I don't wear it a ton. Next up, I think I'm not screwing up my timeline. I'm pretty sure I have this correct. I think, as far as oldest, would be this SKX 009. Now, I've owned a couple of these in the past. This one was actually a gift from my buddy Michael, Desire68 YouTube channel. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel down below. I've been talking to Michael for a long time. So he was heavily involved. Well, I'm not going to get into the story on it, but essentially we had been talking quite a bit, and he gifted me this watch. I think I gave him some stuff too, but it was just a back and forth thing, and he gave it to me, and I never got rid of it. For one, I absolutely love the SKX, and it means more to me because it was a gift. Not all gifts stick with me, though. I know I've been given watches by other people that I've actually sold. So that is a weird topic. Okay, next up, as far as oldest, is actually a GShock. The 5610 that I swapped over the 5610, blacked out one combi bracelet on. And this is kind of like my work beater watch, spare watch, whatever like that. It's been through a ton of different stuff, and I still have it. This thing is, the best I can tell, is about 5 years old. So I think that SKX is also around that 5-year-old mark, somewhere in there, I think. I'm trying to double check with Michael. I couldn't figure out exactly when I got it. It's like 5 or 6 years old that I took possession of it. So that's 3 watches. And the last one is actually the GShock, quote, blingmaster. The GMW B50 or 5000 series or something like that. GD1 or whatever the heck the number is. Something like that. I don't remember these numbers very well. And this thing is like 4 years old. So that's it. That's the state of the collection of watches that I've owned for 2 years or more. Yikes. And now if I go, a little bit younger than that, then there's a bunch of watches, obviously. So I am constantly rotating. I guess good or bad, whatever you want to take it. Like, I'm not so much a watch collector, even though I have a lot of watches right now. I'm more into the experiencing watches. And occasionally that will stimulate a refresh or a sell-off, and then I'll, buy more watches and experience more watches. And I've been kind of even doing that now, even when I'm, quote, building this library. I'm evolving the library, right? So I still have a lot of watches, probably around 100 watches, and I'm constantly evolving that. So, but these 4, and I have no intention. Like, I can't see any circumstance that would warrant me getting rid of any of these watches. Is it possible? Sure, it's possible, but I really highly doubt it. And I've added watches more recently into that same category where I just really don't think that I would get rid of them. I could see no circumstance where I would get rid of them. And maybe I'll do that video if you guys are interested in me showing you the watches that are like, as of today, I feel like are keeper status. Like I can't think of a circumstance where I would release them from my ownership. So if you're interested in seeing that video, let me know. But I thought this was a very interesting topic that we kind of stumbled across with just in casual conversation. Listen, Calico and we have these conversations if we have time, and they're so good of a conversation that they could literally, we could record them and post them as podcasts. We've actually talked about doing that. That's how good some of the topics are, and challenges from one another that we've played, like with almost like games, and maybe that'll happen in the future. We'll see if time allows. But I wanted to share that with you guys. You know I'm not the only crazy one out there that does stuff like this, the refresh, but yet then there's sort of keepers that survive the test of time. If you have a similar circumstance, list them down in the comments down below. You know, if it's only a handful of watches and you do a similar tactic that I do, go ahead and list them off down below. I'm very curious to see what people in the watch hobby have held for a longer period of time when they do the refresh. It's not everybody that collects like that, but I think there's enough people out there that we could probably share that information. People new getting into the hobby would value this information, I think. You know what I mean? Whether they replicate it or not, I think they will help them understand a path that they are potentially going down as a journey. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next vid.